the first series and couldn't. I'm not sure it's going to work out.
I mean, you can't keep every team from getting some sort of comfort. And Keen, I made this point on Stream B, but the West has like this 2-week holiday around Christmas, New Year's, everything. The East, it's not as profound. It's usually the Chinese New Year.
Yeah.
And this Keen team is well practiced, and they came here to win.
Dragon. Yeah, right. I remember numerous tournaments at the start of January.
Holy shit.
That's a god Meepo pick.
We got a game.
Is it though? Yeah, it kind of is. How do you kill Meepo, guys? Whoa, and they were obviously ready for it. You want to talk about a hard counter to Quap, okay? There's a lot of them. Meepo's got to be near the top of the list. As soon as you have Blink, like, if you get netted, even pre-Blink, you are dead as Quap.
Quap even good?
No,
Quap's terrible.
Quap's terrible.
She's garbed, which is a shame because I love playing her, but apparently she's garbed.
And Gambit knew exactly what they want to pick.
Do we bother doing predictions? I don't know.
I was thinking we could start. Why don't we keep like a running tally as the years go by?
We should.
The months go by.
We should do the whole year,
right?
We'll start right here because we're doing it here. We're going to keep a record here. We are doing a record.
Well, but like imagine it's like June and our stats come up behind us, right?
Yeah.
And then Kyle was like,
and then no one hires
197. It's going to be terrible.
I'm going to take an easy one to start the year.
Okay, all right. Well, let's start with Ted.
I'm going to go with Gambit.
Easy one for Ted.
Good job, Kyle. Really, really well done. Yeah, Gambit's going to win.
If I'd waited for you to say Gambit, then this is your copy of me. Sorry. I think they got a better draft. And
so he's getting extra points for going
Ted,
first.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ted. Kyle.
I agree.
He said Gambit.
I agree with what you two.
He's copying Ted.
I learned young, when you're young, listen to the advice of much older, hopefully wiser men. And that's what I'm going to do here. Gambit picks it.
Okay.
What happened to They Can't Die on side of Keen Gaming?
What, did
you see what they picked last?
Yeah, that was kind of playing garbage. I'm going with
I've seen this before.
I'm going with Gambit. Playing his garbage hero.
Okay, all right. So the first 4 picks were fantastic as far as our panelists were concerned. They was all going swimmingly well until pick number 5 was a bit not so good, and then their other pick was not really good for them either. So it's a Gambit clean sweep as far as the panel are concerned. Let's bring out our commentary team and find out what their predictions are as well. Gents, this counts. This counts towards the tally as we're going along to see whether you're the Oracle or not.
You go first.
I go first?
You go first.
I'm with the panel. I think Gambit have this. There's elements to Keen's gaming that's going to be good, but I've also watched Gambit earlier today where the ES, the Prophet, and the Undying is just going to wreck every single lane and create so much space for Meepo, so I'm with Gambit.
So I can overtake everybody if I pick Keen and they win.
Yes.
Yeah, but you could also be behind everybody if you pick King.
Also true.
I'll catch up to Kyle easily. Let me think.
If you switch to Keen, I'll switch with you.
Okay, let's go, Ted.
Yeah, solidarity, bro.
Ride and die with the...
We're gonna ride
Let's go with Keen.
Okay.
Okay. Good luck, Ted.
So
good luck, Syndrome.
Because reasons.
Yeah.
Because things.
It's not logical reasons. It's just reasons.
Okay, gents, have fun. Enjoy your Meepo game.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
At least it's not techies, yeah. That is correct.
Yeah. If you play with Fire Syndrome, you're going to get one.
I don't think we have a techies team here, do we? I'm pretty sure we don't.
We don't, but I'm fairly certain Gambit, if you wanted to pull it out, they would pull it out.
You never know.
Yeah.
We might get a game.
Yeah, but we're into the game anyway, so we're good to go. They're actually just saying hello up at the top rune, Dark and FNG, just standing in front of each other trying to contest for this top bounty rune. But with the extra help of having Sven nearby, maybe not what they're looking for, and they've already secured bottom, so it's a 2-2 split for the runes.
So if we just want to talk a little bit about the draft, obviously this Meepo last pick is really strong in this game. He has a couple of good matchups like the panel talked about, but I think what Keen can win this game on is just accelerating out of a laning stage if they get the lanes right. If the lanes go well for them in the beginning, their heroes reach a point of critical mass very early in the game. Their team fight with Sven, Io, and Brewmaster is really powerful. Gyrocopter is great too. Even Queen of Pain, that everybody loves to hate, has a timing. Most heroes in Dota have some sort of timing. And I think they overlap really well. So that's the one thing for Keen that I see being really good, is that I think there are times in this game that their lineup is just flat out stronger in team fights.
Yeah, but at the same
if they can
time,
take advantage of that,
you can also look back at Keen's old games, like the game they played up against NIP. Up against OG, which was in that grand final. They won that game in 18 minutes and 37 seconds playing this Meepo. So I wonder if Keen have the time to get online.
I think in that game, OG's draft was a lot greedier than Keen's is, because I think this Keen draft is pretty good at fighting.
OG had Razor, Anti-Mage, Lich, Tusker, and Omni Knight during that game, so yeah, it's a lot slot.
This Radiant lineup is fast, in my opinion. It's very clear that if Meepo has a free game and does great, it's going to probably just win the game off of that. But I think the way Keen have put their lanes is pretty smart. They've chosen to put the Sven mid instead of the Queen of Pain, so Sven will be getting good farm against this Meepo, at least for now. I don't think Meepo can really kill him if he maxes out the Warcry at some point, at least. For now, he has 1-1-0 build.
It does seem like a good late game answer as well, right? Like,
when Sven is farmed, he hurts. He definitely hurts. It goes both ways though, because Meepo can like kite him very well with the nets. But if you have the BKB and you get the jump with Sven, you're very strong. So I'm looking at Keen's lanes, and I feel like they might have put the best possible lanes. So far so good on that front. Now it's about whether they can avoid just getting killed off too much, really, across the board. If the laning stage goes even, I like them from minute 10 to 20. And then if that phase doesn't go too well for the Meepo, is more than likely going to take this over. So let's see here.
Immersion really trying to get involved now that Old Chicken has expended most of his abilities. But it's this early Blightstone that Nature's Prophet loves to build up on Gambit. It's always just remove that armor and make life more difficult. That's more problematic for Io, who's got 0 armor on this safe lane.
It's also a very good laning partner for Earth Spirit. Right now, Earth Spirit, a lot of teams consider this a pretty good hero, but obviously one of the weaknesses is not one of the strongest laners, but Nature's Prophet can compensate for Earth Spirit's laning weakness by being extremely powerful in lane with the trance, and then obviously they play off each other later on in the game. Earth Spirit is very kill hungry, and then you also have the teleportation of Furion, so they hit this like they have these good moments across the board during the game when they play together.
He is not healthy. Underneath the tower, Shadow Strike is a level 2, so he's limping his way around, having to use the tangos to get some more life back, but he knows Queen of Pain can just blink and then go for it again, which is exactly what happens. Up onto the top lane, and he'll tick out the Shadow Strike. No, maybe with the Soul Rip, he has enough life to survive, but into the trees they go, and the denial! FNG actually denying his safe laner.
I really thought Dark was going to clap that through the trees. There was only one place Razor could be, but might have wanted to give the kill to the Queen of Pain. A great heads-up play from FNG there. That's actually really big, and we haven't talked about this just yet, but another benefit of the way Keen put their lanes is that they get the Queen of Pain against Razor. It's the worst target he has in the laning stage for Static Link. Everybody else would be struggling to get away from it, but Quap obviously very easily.
Yeah, it's the old mid lane matchup, right?
Exactly.
We're just seeing it in a different lane.
That's why they picked the Quap. The panel hates it, but it's a good hero against Razor in lane at least. So
it's not a bad offlane.
FNG is in really far here. He has a TP.
He's done this before because there's no stun, and he's gaining so much strength. And okay, yeah, you're right.
They could kill him here. I think he's dead if they just go. I'm not sure.
There's the blinking Shadow Strike. He still doesn't have TP for a little bit. Napo's going to come in, start stealing damage. If he body blocks up FNG, and then he denies him as well. So he'll take the damage. Then Shadow Strike is almost their worst enemy on this offlane. We've had 2 kills so far, and neither of them count.
This is doing some serious mental damage, I'm sure. It sucks. Yeah, getting 2 kills denied like this. It's even first bloods, you know? There's a lot of gold here that they're not getting.
They need the taunt. FNG actually needs to have the taunt out at that point. That's the real way to tilt.
I mean, he was the dead guy.
Yeah.
He can't taunt from the grave. But if anybody could, it would be Undying.
Yeah. He's got the best one. He's got the disco ball.
That's nice.
They're rotating to bottom lane now, so FNG looking to try and just change the balance up. Immersion's the initiator, 2 points up in that rolling boulder. It's ready for the kick as well. Onto Old Chicken and FNG with the King and Soul Rip. The damage is high. Karka's trying to keep his core alive with the body block, keeping Immersion out, but now with the TP forward, he's probably doing too much damage from the tower. He'll get into the trees, into the fog of war. Old Chicken, and he got the damage, and he does. In the trees, Kaka does the work with the body block. FNG can at least get the rebuttal. And Immersion, he goes in deeper underneath the tower. So Prophet can die, but FNG has the double kill. Not exactly certain who's going to say that's worth it, but the dual lane of Keen safe goes down.
Yeah, that was good play from both teams, really. I don't think Keen are too unhappy with that. Trading 2 for 1 when they're in the 2 versus 3 and they get the first blood gold. It's a pretty even trade overall. A slight victory for Gambit, but the question is what it costs in the top lane, right? Aponinji is kind of stuck right now, trying to get a pull off because he obviously can't lane 1-on-2 against Queen plus Brewmaster. So he's a bit on the defense. And let's not forget about this mid lane. Panel was talking about how good Meepo is against Queen of Pain in the lane and in the game, but Sven is breaking even. So Old 11, we saw him earlier today in the series against NIP doing work on this hero.
Yeah.
He's off to a good start again. Interestingly, not skilling Warcry at all just yet. He is maxing the cleave, so full-on farming build, even laning against Meepo. He feels safe with his double bracer, and don't really blame him for it. I think it's good enough for now to stay alive. Even if he gets ganked by Earth Spirit, it's an unlikely kill, right? He even has his ulti for that extra 10 strength, so...
Bottom lane, Rolling Boulder's going to come in once again from Immersion. FNG trying to rip apart Old Chicken. The Sprout will not be able to control him. He still has the Tango, ready for that situation.
Brewmaster canceled the TP, so at least they got that, and then they can go again.
Yeah, straight back in. After getting off the decay, they're just lowering the life, but Kaka can give so much so quickly to Old Chicken.
That was all their stick charges. They both use stick. It's
Immersion will go again. 2 seconds till another roll. FNG is pretty low as well. I think they're trying to cut off, thinking that they went for the Shrine, but they did not.
Kaka is playing without overcharge, so he needs to Soul Ring right now to heal Old Chicken with the Tango he's running, or at least take some damage from creeps or something. Right now he got a little bit of damage on him.
Ooh, FNG. That's tower damage. He can only Soul Rip, get a little bit more life back. Immersion goes in. They kill off Old Chicken this time around. Immersion with the aggro switching. He was able to stay alive. Kaka, Spirits up in 1 second time. Sven with the Warcry won't be able to catch up to Immersion. He's just rolling boulders away.
That looked like some miscommunication from Keen. They had a ward on what was happening the whole time. They have this really good ward down here that sees everything above the tower. And that means they knew both Earth Spirit and the Undying were trying to flank. And Sven TP's in after the Gyro dies. They could have made a really great bait out of this, or could have played it safer, but... Yep. A little bit of a mistake, and Gambit take advantage of it. And this Sven rotation, it costs, right? Because now he's like... He's actually just sitting here for a full minute almost by now.
Yep.
Just not really doing much. Now they're going to go for a
So
nature skill, maybe.
they changed the lanes up instead, so they put Gyrocopter in towards the mids, not losing out completely. But you've already got Meepo going into the jungle. But is this what you really want from your Meepo early on? Because like if I remember correctly, there's the experience change as well, so Meepo doesn't level up as fast as he used to. It's like it's a 35% reduction on experience from clones.
I don't remember the exact change, but I would say this is still how you absolutely need to utilize the jungle like this. Meepo is not ready to really fight yet, as we get a easy pick there on the Brewmaster.
Yeah.
But he has to play this jungle and work toward his first item. I would say generally Meepo likes to farm until he gets his first key item. In this case it looks like Darak's choice will be the Ethereal Blade. Would imagine he is very farm oriented until that point, and then we can see him make a move. Sometimes we see Meepos rush a dagger, and they get active a lot earlier. A lot of the times that is the approach against a hero like Anti-Mage, but in this case he feels like, well, if I get a dagger and I jump the Sven, I'm not sure I'm coming out of that on the winning side.
But if you blade pop him and he doesn't have BKB, then this is a lot more.
It's also a nice save. It's just a good item all around against Sven to keep himself or an ally.
They're going again up on top, relocate, looking to bring in some reinforcements. Old Chicken ready to arrive for the fight. On Sonic Wave, Afro will go down, and their next target will be over towards Immersion. The ES rotation is there. I don't know if this Meepo really wanted to arrive. The relocate will pull him back out as Old 11 underneath the tower. He's going in with Dark. FNG's got a lot of life and still got 12 one charges, so he'll make it to the tree lines. Meepo boosting out already, and now ES looking to rotate in. Soul Rip can't get the secondary decay up. Immersion getting hit by both the call-down connections, and then Rolling Boulders out. The homing missile and Storm Bolt will both be connecting on him, allowing Keen just to chase through this tree line. Apo looking for a revenge. He'll get it into Dark. And they're still bringing in more supplies. Remember, all this the battle started because the 10-minute bounty room was spawning up. Both teams were posturing for it. As I say that, you actually see Gambit. Nature's Prophet's already on it. He's taken not two. He's going to get all 4 of the bounty runes unless Queen of Pain blinks over quickly.
He has cooldown and blink. He's going to get it. Okay.
He'll take the regeneration rune instead. So 3 bounties for 1, and he gets a regeneration.
Looking at the net worth right now, this is how a lot of Meepo games go, is that Meepo is the big farmer. He will be ahead of everybody in the game, and I would say Meepo needs to be ahead. This hero is really bad if it's not far ahead, so going somewhat according to play, oh, that's a very good way.
They're going after Afro. With the call down, he had no way to have the movement speed to get away, and the Brewmaster split was able to control FNG using the Storm Brewing just to send him up. He'll get another Soul Rip and Decay off, try and make him at least work for it a bit more.
But the next 3 cores on the list behind the Meepo are all Radiant heroes. And this is kind of, you know, there's this stereotypical good old anti-mage game where anti-mage is Battle Fury, anti-mage is really farmed, he's farming the whole map, but his team is suffering. Can he carry alone? And this looks like...
Rolling boulder, he's going in again up on the top turns on the Magnetized. DP support's coming in from the Razor and the Nature's Prophet. With the Wrath of Nature, it was so much heavier damage than Keen was probably expecting, and the Eye wasn't tethered up to actually help. Now he's just tethered towards Afro, stealing out the damage, and Afro's got enough to finish the job.
That was a really good move by... That was a great example of what Earth Spirit and Nature's Prophet can do together. He rolls in, he magnetizes, at the same time Nature's Prophet TPs in, and they just overwhelm them. And unfortunately for Keen, Kaka tried to tether the Gyro and save him, but that means he doesn't have the tether to try to get out afterwards, so they get that extra kill. And that's a big swing. That one fight gave them 3 kills and a tier 1 tower.
Yep.
And they don't really lose anything for it.
Seems like the perfect time as well. Like Brew Split was still down for 60 seconds after the tier 1 tower fell, so they knew there was no counterattack.
That's when Gambit are strong. I think they really want to play around the Brewmaster ulti being on cooldown, because as we said pre-game, the Radiant teamfight is really good, but this one key component missing is probably enough to tip the scales in Gambit's favor in the fights, and especially now that we see Meepo grabbing this 12-minute Ethereal Blade. You don't say that very often, I feel like. Only really this hero will pick it up that early and want it as his first item. Old school Morphling sometime would get it, but...
Stormbolt with the extra damage, Immersion. Has he got a kick to buy some time? He has a kick, doesn't buy much time. Maybe with the Wrath of Nature, Queen of Pain feels a little bit more threatened.
I'm seeing some Earth Spirit players go more for this build now where you don't skill Geomagnetic Grip early on. I still feel like it's a really good value point. Of course, the 100 mana cost is a lot, and you want to be able to roll more. The lower cooldown on Rolling Boulder, the longer stun, it's all very good. But in a situation like this, maybe having a point in grip could have perhaps even saved your life. You can just get that silence off and get away from trouble.
Do you actually think that's also the change in the fact that the stun is now attached to rolling?
Yeah, definitely. Like the rolling level 1 is pretty bad.
Tombstone's in a really good position. Remember, there's still... Actually, he has the Brewmaster split up. With the Tombstone and the extra support brought in from Gambit, they don't want to be part of it, but in middle lane, Gambit are pushing. They look for the tier 1 towers. You add pressure on one side. Now Meepo needs to back the hell up out of here. Split the Meepos so he can poof away. Brewmaster goes for the split very early on because he's expecting the Meepos to start the farm up. That's exactly what happens. Isolate one. There's your first stun. Maybe with the Earthbind can create a little bit more space. Secondary one is available. And then with the E-Blade pop and Kaka, he doesn't want to let him go. He actually relocates onto the other side of the river to ensure there's no way out, but I think Kaka's coming back to his own demise. Gyrocopter staying close enough that he can just tether down a little bit further, and that's what Kaka is trying to create the space for at the moment, but it won't happen. Wrath of Nature just pops the ball of light.
Actually, there's a couple of interesting things here. First of all, the Brewmaster split, obviously being able to dispel E-Blade. We didn't mention that as a thing in teamfights, but that matters a lot, especially for the Sven. And the second thing, when you think about how Meepo usually plays the map and how the game goes, Meepo wants to split the lanes, he wants to farm the jungle at the same time, but Io is one of the better heroes at dealing with this. If they have any sort of setup that catches the Meepo in any place on the map, they can overwhelm him with numbers, with the relocate, with the Sven or the Gyro. And then whoever caught the Meepo in the first place, in this case it was the Brewmaster. They didn't really need the relocate, I think, in this play, but later on, even if they aren't successful, just the fact that Dahak has to play differently. Like, if you have to be more careful with how far you can go on lanes, it doesn't feel good.
There's the jump onto bottom lane. Nature's Prophet wants to get the hell out of here, begins his TP, and surprisingly enough, no stuns. Well, not surprisingly enough, it's just the way the heroes work.
Brewmaster doesn't have a stun.
Keen, they scanned up Roshan only a minute ago, and now Gambit have gone in for it.
Just Meepo.
With that pressure on bottom, the Tombstone, trying to throw it out, keep him away. This is actually allowed to finish up Roshan as 11 just getting continuously bound to the ground, and then the jump in from Immersion. They can use the Warcry. Sonic Wave is good. Undying is already down. Old 11 just wants to finally get this kill. He's able to claim one of them, but now the Meepo turns his attention over towards the Sven. Actually, no, he doesn't. He's just keeping him locked in position. While Afro, he's the man involved in the fight. 4 heroes around him. The stuns continue, and Razor will fall.
That's a pretty expensive Aegis. That's 3 kills and then maybe a tier 1 tower, but...
And Sven got 2 of those kills.
Yeah, you gotta look toward Old 11 right now and be a little bit worried if you're Gambit, because the dagger is coming up. Inevitably, he will be getting a BKB probably afterwards, and at that point, we're gonna see here, there's a a decent call down here. They get some vision in the pit, but great play from the Meepo here, keeping the Sven rooted. He never gets in. If this rolling boulder connects, I think that's a different fight, but Immersion misses a great combo of spells here from the Queen of Pain. She takes care of the Tombstone, very important as well. And overall, a pretty solid team fight coming out of Keen. Now it's on Gambit to use this Aegis. That's what they want to do.
Well, they're going to try. They 3-man smoke up. They didn't bring any of the Meepos with them, but that's why the Meepos on the front line.
They still have Primal Split.
They do. They didn't even have to use it in the last fight.
Didn't use it.
But you've got God Strength available as well for Sven.
They're actually completely ready except Sonic. So I think they can defend any tower that Gambit go toward now. It's about not getting caught, especially on this duo. If Io Gyro get caught, that's the perfect find for Gambit.
Prophecy being in, the Sprout given the extra information. Tombstone's already down. Chicken begins his TP out, but rolling boulder. It'll cancel out. The Io actually pops before he can complete his own TP out. So they will get the double kill up onto top. And then how much pressure can be applied from here? Do you just go for that tier 2 tower on top now? Middle lane will be pressured by Old 11. This is the counter.
Those 2 picks should be enough to maybe get this tower, I think. It's taking quite a while for the creep wave to connect, though. They killed them so far out that actually, never mind.
Meepo looks
They're going
towards
to be
the
alive
mid.
again.
Here comes the Earthbind. Doesn't actually hit the target. The blink up from Sven, but that's the reason why you've already got the first TP. But it was FNG who completed first. They'll at least get rid of the Observer Ward and Dark. Well, Brewmaster split. He's already silenced up the control. They will keep him silenced. It would have probably been a waste of a split if he burnt it anyway.
I think he was trying to die for his Sven, but his Sven was actually fine. So they could have probably cut that without losing anybody. Still, not the biggest loss. It's a support. They forced some TP rotation. And as we talked about, the top tower does stay alive for Keen. So not too much progress on the map. I really feel like this mid-tier 1 is where the game is going to be at right now. Like, Keen will not give this tower up. They will want to fight for it, even against an Aegis Meepo. They probably feel pretty strong on defense here with all their spells.
That's pretty confident to do so. Meepo is not in a position ready to fight. He's still forcing in the bottom lane instead. But there's such a heavy battle for vision. There's sentry wards going down everywhere. Everyone's just trying to have an observer and sentry watching this top rune.
Oh, there we go.
Well, the jump in towards mid. Have they got the control? Sprout creates some space between him and Appa Ninja. Meanwhile, up on the top lane, initiation onto the Io and the Gyrocopter. They want to get out of here. It will not work, so top lane. It's both Io and Gyro to go down. Razor will also take a fall. Meanwhile, on bottom lane, you've then got the tier 2 tower to be claimed by Nature's Prophet. This battle is a full global. Prophet and Meepo bouncing around. Io on the map. This is a challenge. I bet Script's really happy he stood up ready to cast this, ready to observe this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of global pressure.
Oh, we have Weppers. I thought we had Script. All right, sorry.
I thought we had Script too.
Yeah.
Is this?
Weppers was meant to be taken. Was that the right one?
They're the same person,
Production.
right?
Yeah, sorry, it's Scrappus.
Yeah.
Scrappus got us covered no matter what.
Does it matter? Can you tell the difference?
Actually, they have their own
different styles?
They have their own styles. Yes.
One of them likes Meepo a bit more than the other. If you check how much they follow one specific hero, oh, this is definitely a Weapons game. That's what they realized.
Oh, we're only looking at Techie's mind, so it's definitely a script game.
That's definitely a boring game. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Techie's is more enjoyable if Blast Off is the primary ability.
It's more enjoyable now. I will definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
The new Techies is more enjoyable.
He's actually so much fun in dual off lanes. Like, you get Axe and Techies together and you're having a great time. Meanwhile, in mid, quick
reaction.
blink from Old 11. He saw that net for a fraction of a second coming from the tree lines. Dark was not so lucky. He does have the Brewmaster split available if they want to go in for this fight with Old Chicken and Kaka right behind him. It feels good for the Earthbind. It holds him. Immersion. He needs a little bit more time. Rolling boulder down. Any kind of extra control. Kaka will finally get popped. The Sonic Wave. Scream pushing back. Gambit. There's still a 1-for-1 trade-off, but the Brewmaster split will wear off in 2 seconds' time. So they've lost that big team fight control they wanted. No ultimates available from Keen anymore. Then again, the same can be said for Gambit.
I think Gambit's happy with that, though. They got what they came for. They got this mid-tier 1 tower. Minimal casualties. They lost Earth Spirit for the IO. And now the Aegis has expired on Dahak, so they're a bit more careful with how far they really want to push it. Obviously, very aware. I think showing great restraint on the Meepo here. A lot of players will play more aggressively, like, oh, I'm Meepo, I'm super strong right now, I can just jump in, but he respects his opponent. He is aware of the risks he's taking by going aggressive, and even now with a Scotty E-Blade, it feels like a game where Meepo can actually just flat out die. It truly commits in, so it's Still has to play intelligently around this fight, try to bait out a couple of spells here and there, or maybe get the enemy team to go on the Razor.
Look towards the bottom lane, actually hitting with the Planter Field. Meanwhile up on top, yeah, Dark is going to get completely destroyed. Alt 11 will be able to complete out his TP, however.
Oh, they got Quap too?
And oh wow, they actually Earthbinder her up. She'll get the blink. Down the lane and into relative safety.
I think he had a secondary net, but he might have missed micro there. I'm pretty sure he had another one. Not the easiest heroes to play.
Brewmaster is down for the moment. This is still more money coming into Amiibo. He's only sitting at 15.5k net worth.
Can't have a ward. Oh, Sven. Well, now they have vision here. I think they're actually playing blind. That is very, very difficult to do against Meepo and Nature's Prophet. So they have to get some vision out after this kill.
It's always been dewarded. Like FNG used to be spending almost all of his money. Like he got Tranquils, he got a Windlace and Magic Wand. Now at least he gets something more. He's managed to find a crown.
Dark bot. Oh, he has 7 sentries on his Brewmaster. 7 sentries, 2 obs.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he's trying to find something. They were like, why do we get jumped? Like, what's going on up here? But there's actually no vision.
His sentry's in range of the other sentry, which is on the hill, but they need flying vision to get rid of it. But both of the Observer Wards, which are down for Gambit right now, are watching the Radiant Southern jungle.
Oh, there's a big item. He didn't go BKB. Okay.
He's just going all out damage and then a Battle Fury after.
If 11 gets to hit something, it dies. They have the E-Blade, but that can be dispelled by Brewmaster, so got to be careful with that. And of course, since he doesn't have a BKB, he's way easier to control for this dire lineup with slows and nets and stun.
They're smoking, but look at FNG's position. He's running in to make sure he can actually break the smoke, and the Observer Ward will already see the Queen of Pain coming out of that smoke.
Nice play.
And FNG just TPs away.
Well, it's very good. I think only one hero from Keen got broken though, so perhaps Old 11 will pursue here. He actually will find the Razor. If he gets any help here, he could have sold it.
And Relocate's coming in. Apo, what do you want to do, bro? Die.
Alright. Sven actually didn't need help, but I guess Keen don't have much information to go on right now about Gambit's placements with their other heroes, so they thought, okay, maybe this Razor has some sort of backup bottom, because as we mentioned, they don't really have any vision on the map. Better safe than sorry. It's a good kill. It's a core kill.
FNG tried to go for Old 11. He actually dropped the Tombstone on the hill as Old 11 blinked himself away. That's a very nicely farmed up Meepo looking to complete up the Skadi and just probably one more wave.
So 2 Scotties.
Yeah. Doubling up.
A lot of stats. No mobility though. He has no dagger. So it's a bit harder for him to get in, but he's tanking up to try to survive against this Sven, and I don't blame him for it. 3k health, 40 armor.
Is that the way to do it? And like with the changes to to AC, where it doesn't go through BK like Magic Immunity anymore, do you still feel like that's something like I'm thinking like how they can give him armor apart from just the Vlads on Prophet? Actually, they got Crimson, Vlads, and Pipe all on Prophet, so if there's enough support for Dark.
I think he's strong enough to fight for a bit now. Especially, I don't know about this Battle Fury, man. I get he wants to keep more cleave. He wants to keep his Quelling Blade against the Nature's Prophet. I get that, but I think you can keep the Quelling Blade and then get a BKB now, and then maybe consider Battle Fury a 5th item. It's obviously really, really good damage with the increased cleave against the whole enemy team and against the Meepos, but you're running the risk of being a 20k net worth hero in the fight that gets sprouted, or not sprouted rather, but just ensnared up and controlled the whole fight. The reason I say sprouted is I got flashbacks from a certain Arteezy game from a long time ago, a couple years ago. It can happen. Like if you don't have that BKB and don't have control. There was actually the opposite situation back then. He had the BKB but no quelling and got sprouted in his BKB, and this time it could be the other way around. Well, sure, you can cut out of the trees, but you can't cut those nets.
Savan was looking for a fight up on top lane. He won't get it, however.
Good read from Daha. He got out of there just in the nick of time, but maybe no.
They need a little bit of extra range. Doesn't work. Rolling Boulder in, able to get the silence off. They're all looking for the bounty runes and stealing 11's damage. It won't matter if he has a Daedalus if they do more damage, and they've actually got him. Sven, Wallfall, and Brewmaster is on the run. The Sprout trying to block him in. It won't work, but then Immersion just goes in even deeper. After Karka and Old Chicken, and now maybe with a Sonic Wave, Gambit being screamed back. That noise, it always makes you take one step backwards.
That's a good pick, though. They got the Sven on the bounty rune.
Yep.
They got, how many runes did they get?
It's the timing as well. Roshan's up in 30 seconds, so Sven's going to have 20 seconds down while Roshan comes up. And the trees are watching the spawn time.
He has buyback, but they burnt the Sonic Wave. They burnt the split. I think if they try to fight for Roshan, they're actually going to lose the game. Not just lose the fight. So very good for Gambit here, should securing them this Roshan. They should be aware that it's spawning in just a second, so what's that, 10 seconds from now? Yeah, they'll be fine. I was gonna say that I'm a bit concerned for Alpha Ninja's game. He's playing basically position 3 Razor with Hood and BKB. It's a very weak item build, but Meepo and the Nature's Prophet are strong enough to make up for it for now. But it feels like if Meepo has 1 or 2 bad fights, who do you fall back on in this game? I still think Gambit need to keep playing this very composed and avoid unnecessary deaths, and especially the Meepo, and they've been doing a great job so far at that.
You can just fall back onto like split push in a way, but I suppose IO creates problems with that.
It's tricky against IO, especially if Queen of Pain eventually gets a catch item like a Scythe of Ice or maybe even a Yules. This game would have been interesting.
As long as moments like this keep happening where it's like another Roshan goes to Gambit, it's completely uncontested, and then they find another opening. Dark rolling boulder forward. They are able to get the silence and the follow-up kick. Brewmaster having trouble getting out of here. He wants to split, but the Earthbind holds him in position. Can they get the kill? Dark, he's back a little bit further. Actually doesn't have split available yet, and the Magnetize causing all sorts of problems as Afro, BKB immune, just walks in the middle of the fight, but it's old chicken's time up on the hill. Karka's trying to give him everything he's got and then get him out of there. He has to relocate away to safety. He went all the way back to the fountain. Queen of Pain had nothing to offer him this fight, and Sven dead for a full minute. Buyback is at least available. What?
Sven changed his quick buy. What do you think he put in?
BKB now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got rooted for 10 seconds that fight. He was actually useless. That feels really bad. When you're a hero who can hit that hard and you don't get to hit at all, it's tough, man.
They're trying to hold without Sven buying back. Old Chicken's got Black Cannon up in a couple of seconds. Earthbind already out once, twice on Queen of Pain. And they're all grouped up quite nicely, but Sonic Wave is back off cooldown once more. They need more control. FNG is running pretty low on mana, but Karka, he's more of the problem. Able to be pushed away far enough into safety, but the top ranks has already gone down, and Gambit, they really want to take more, and they may have it! The split, it doesn't come off, he doesn't have buyback available, maybe with a call down, but no, they just trigger Crimson, they just trigger Pipe, Gambit's got all this to say in the world, and Gyrocopter is trimmed to the ground! That is one grounded bird. Maybe now with the buyback they can continue to fight, as Gambit, they'll start to back up. Aphros with a healthy man, but he's still got the cheese available. But it looks like this is enough for now.
They all get out.
They all get out. They didn't burn Aegis. They didn't have to consume the cheese. That is the greatest fight Gambit could have asked for.
And 2 buybacks as well. It's really important for Keen that they get this Primal split off. It's the only way. They can remove this Crimson Guard with the Brewmaster Dispel, so they have the solutions available, but again, for me, it just comes back to Sven can't do anything. He is so farmed, and he doesn't get to use his net worth. I don't think Daedalus was the way to go in this game. You're seeing him being abused by Gambit. What I'm curious to see now is when he gets this BKB, if either Keen get a good fight and come back in this game, or if you get to see what could have happened if you had it 10 minutes earlier, and then you're just like, oh well, you know, it's just too late.
You can understand the concept for it though. Like you saw the attack on the Razor on bottom. He could do it solo, and they wanted to do it, but maybe you almost go back like 10 seconds before that when FNG broke the smoke on the Queen of Pain. And anyone who is going to be in that jungle kind of just backed up, because you didn't need it. Like Razor's more of a pain in the butt. Old 11 on the run out of here. The smoke gank. He's able to blink himself up. But ES, rolling boulders, able to actually get the stun. As Ben walked into a probable cover during the fight. Dark will be able to get the split off. But can they deal with these rulings? They want to deal with Old 11 to begin with. So Sven has already been deleted. And they're chasing down the Earth ruling. I think he's actually the last one left alive. So say goodbye to the Brewmaster. All 3 die and the main thing is gone. Can't reincarnate if you don't have part of yourself left alive. That make actually Brewmaster like a Horcrux or something?
Yeah. I guess. Oh man, this is honestly, it's a bit hard to watch. I'm just imagining being the Sven, and I feel so sad. You know?
And the never-ending control. Like he doesn't have the BKB yet. They'll jump in. He's looking for the damage. He gets one swing off, and with the flag cam, they do some damage. But now Old Chicken, he's locked inside the Sprout. He'll come back out, but another Earthbind. FNG is the only target presenting himself. But that's 2k HP that Old 11 will be able to find through. But it's the Queen of Pain who will be the one to find the kill. But they're TPing out. Look, he's waiting for it on top of the shrine. The TP out from Dark. He wanted to come in through the rear. Wait, what? I don't think Gambit realized what they were getting. He had Earthbind available and a whole bunch of proofs, but he was attacking into the shrine, just auto attacks. Didn't see the Brewmaster try and come in through the rear.
And they do get a full-on reset here. Once again, just very structured from Gambit, honestly. They didn't even use the Meepo Aegis there. You could argue that they could have gone for it, maybe won the game there, but...
I don't know if this is what you wanted, blinking forward like that, trying to go for the rune. Yeah, it should be fine.
They're still respecting their opponent with this Meepo. I think he could maybe have gone for it. You see here, this roll. Honestly surprising 11 ends up eating that. I think that was pretty telegraphed, but mistakes do happen.
Yeah.
And...
Trying to outsmart him. We'll come back live as Kaka trying to get him out, able to do so. Dark just with a clamp to create a little bit of space, but once again it's a sacrificial IO.
Oh, nice.
Kaka has to come back in unless they want to try and fight this one, but while Dark is trapped, he's got 10 seconds to split back up, and then Gyrocopter trapped. He'll get the BKB breaking free of the root, but IO cannot be so lucky. The damage output was just too high, 90 seconds dead. And Gambit are going to push up the mid, looking for this victory as Ben 1-2 chain him up after we have dodge the Storm Bomb with the BKB, and there's no running from this. They're dead. They've lost the game. Gambit have 3 heroes down on Keen without buyback, and they have taken game 1. And with one more game victory, they will secure themselves a position in the upper bracket of the minor. One step forward. It looks shaky for their start today. It did not look smooth at all. But
they
now,
warmed up.
They're warmed up. It's fast aggression.